Hey everybody, welcome back to the studio. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. It is Tech Day here at the studio. Actually, it's been Tech Weekend. I've spent the last 2 days in the control room soldering new snakes, fixing cables, and doing some general rearranging that I've wanted to do for a while. And once that is all done, I will get a full video out of that. But today, I'm all about the drums. Because right before the lockdown, I got a shipment of heads from Evans, and just with all the craziness of trying to get things done in the last couple of weeks with all that's going on, I hadn't had a chance to sit down and open those boxes and put them on the drum, put the heads on the drums until today. And there's a couple things, a few combinations of heads that I got that I hadn't tried before, and I'm really happy with what I'm hearing, so I figured I'd just share some of that with you today. First up is the kick. This is my 24x16 Gretsch. I am using, for the first time ever actually, the coated EMAD. And I do have the small, it comes with two different foam rings on the, that go on for the muffling, and I'm using the smaller version of those. I usually use the clear EMADs and GMADs, so this is the first time I'm actually using the coated, and I'm really digging it. It's got a nice round, warm tone, but I'm using a plastic beater, so that gives me some of the attack back that I'm losing from not having the clear head, but it's still not quite as attacky as the clear heads, but the low end is really focused, and I really dig that. On top of that, it feels good to play. Now the Rezo head, I put an EQ3 on, and that actually is my favorite Rezo head. I think I have it on 3 or 4 of my other kick drums. It's really versatile, and it sounds great. It's a good combination with this coated EMAD. I'm just digging how it feels and how it sounds. It's quick, but it's still big, and in the room it sounds really nice. Now, I've got 3 snares that I've been messing with. I got a ton of heads in. I haven't had time to put them all on. Today I'm only getting to a few drums, but it was cool, so here we are. First off, Black Beauty. I have done a little work on this. I've pulled all of the rubber that they put on underneath the lug casings between that and the shell. All of those are gone, so these lug casings are going right on the shell like they used to. I have an HD dry on the top, which is, it's a great snare head to control a little bit of ring. It doesn't make the drum completely dead. You can still crank it up a little bit and get some tone out of it, but it does a nice job of just filtering out some of the unwanted pinginess that you can get out of drums sometimes, especially when you crank them up. So I really like it. Plus it feels good to play. Now, here's my first experiment. I saw a friend of mine, Dennis Leafling, use this next head in one of his videos, and I really liked what it did to the drum that he was using it on. So I'm like, I gotta try that sucker. And that is the Orchestral 300. Notice, not a clear head. It is kind of a white film. It is very warm. It made a drastic change, drastic improvement to this drum actually. I have the 20 strand pure sounds on here, the blasters, which are I love these, the 20s, the 24s, they just sound great. But this combo really warmed this drum up. It gave it some body. It's still got a bark to it though. I mean, in the room, it's a rocket, man. It's just insane. Let me stick some earplugs in and hit this sucker. A lot of good crack, but it's warm sounding. I mean, it's like begging me to beat the crap out of it. It's got a nice feel to it. And I think that combo, or at least putting that Orchestral 300 on the bottom, has helped bring some of the depth out of the drum as well. And I like that. It's a 6.5. I want to hear the size of the drum when I'm playing it. I think I'm going to order a few more of those Orchestral 300s and try them on a couple other snares when I get a chance. And I, of course, will report back, or we'll do some samples of that as well, see if it works. Snare number 2. This is one of my Gretsch Renown maple drums, 6.5 by 14, using the hydraulic. Now there's two hydraulics. There's one that's glossy. This one's kind of textured. I like this one a lot. Plus it tunes down well. Also, blasters on the bottom. Can't go wrong with that. I do have this tuned lower. I was going for, or I wanted to try to get something that was a bit more fat, kind of splatty sounding. You know, that you're not going to probably do your marching snare stuff on this, but it's got, just takes up a little bit more room than the other. So I am tuning it down a little. And then I'm dampening a little bit with this. Man, I don't even know where I got this thing. I've had this for so long, it just clips right over the hoop. Get that sucker on there. Here's what it sounds like. Sounds good with center of the head. Sounds cool with rim shot. Got a big, it's just, when you hit this thing, it's just really pillowy feeling. It's nice. Got a cool vibe. The snares are a little splatty, but not long. So it's not too dry. And like I said, even center the head. Actually, it might be cool center of the head than it is with the rim shot. But it's cool. These hydraulic heads are great for tuning down like this. They hold up well, and it feels good to play. Now, I should say both of these drums, and this is quite typical for me, these bottom heads are tight. I mean, if I turn this off, turn the snare off here. And I crank them, I mean like tabletop tight. I'm not even necessarily worried about, it's not to a pitch. I'm not matching lugs. It's just once you get it that tight, it just makes it very responsive, so then you can go do whatever you want to the top head. But you keep that good snare response. All right, last snare. This is a cool one. This is also a cheap one. This is well, it belongs with these toms, which is from my Pearl Form kit, which is, if you know what a Pearl Form is, you know it's a cheap kit. But this kit sounds great. These toms are nice. This snare is cool. I actually had Chris Hewer do the edges on this drum. So the edges cost more than the drum is actually worth. But it worked. They're like baseball, they're really round. And we were just going for a, one kind of specific sound. Now, once again, blasters on the bottom. And this head is a Power Center reverse dot, which I really like. It feels good, it's responsive. Lift you up a little. And on a drum like this, that's, there's not much to this shell. There's not a lot of weight here. This head's a good match for a drum like that because it doesn't weigh it down and sound flappy. Will also help when I turn the snares on. It's kind of a dry sounding drum, and I have one moon gel, take that off. Which actually, that ring in context of a song might be kind of cool because it would get eaten up a little bit with other instruments. But just for now, I'm just drying it out of hair, just for this. It's got a good crack. This is a great all-around head, actually, this reverse dot. Works on, I have it on a couple other drums, and it works really nice. Easy to tune, great response and good articulation. And another thing with the, even though this is only an 8-lug drum, I still have the bottom cranked pretty tight. Very responsive with the snares. Man, this cheap drum, this is the first time I've used this head on here, but like I said, because it's not too thick, it pairs up well with this light, low mass shell, really. I mean, this thing is so light. There's not much to it. Where a 2-ply head, which I have tried before, just makes it sound pretty flappy. So anyway, that's some of the heads I've been putting on today. Like I said, once I get through some of the other heads, I'll do another video with how that stuff sounds and the cool stuff I find. And I think I'm going to order a couple more of those Orchestral 300s and try them on a few other snares. So we'll do another video sometime in the future. So until then, happy recording, everybody, and stay safe. See ya.